Who are the 10 players that make their team go from losing by 20 points to making a playoff run? Today, I'll be covering the top 10 players that drastically improved their team. Number 10, Stefan Diggs. When the Vikings traded away Stefan, it was a horrible loss. The next few years for them were obviously pretty bad. Stefan was just about the only thing the Vikings had, and they just threw him away. The Bills, on the other hand, got a huge advantage when this trade happened, especially with Josh Allen at quarterback looking very promising. Bringing in such an elite receiver just looked like the best thing to do. Obviously, the Bills won the trade on this one. The past few years have just been the Bills dominating, with Stefan being Allen's #1 target. Diggs have changed the Bills' receiving core and offense like no other. Number 9, Justin Herbert. When the Chargers drafted Herbert, their plans were to keep him on the bench until he was developed and ready. But with the rib puncture injury to Tyrod Taylor, his time came a lot sooner than expected, and he shined. He took a team that was falling apart and turned them into a playoff team within 2 seasons. With Herbert completing the offense and going above and beyond, he has set up the Chargers for great success for many years to come. Number 8, Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is arguably the best defensive player of all time, and for sure the best D lineman of all time. The menace of a player takes out any quarterback to come his way, whether they're fast, smart, have a good line, or all of them combined. AD always finds a way to shut down the opposing team's offense and is an essential piece to the Rams. Without Aaron Donald, the Rams' run defense would be very mediocre at best. Number 7, Von Miller. Another player coming from the Rams, but this time he affected the Rams in a bad way, at least for this season. Von Miller is one of the best linebackers to play football. He showed that when he went to the Rams and was an essential part to winning the Super Bowl. Going into the 2022 season, the Bills now have Von Miller, and it is showing on almost every single play. On third down, he is the one to sack the quarterback. In the fourth quarter, with a 1-score game, he is the one to finish it and make the play. Even being 33 years old, he is still a complete menace to the NFL. On the other hand, the Rams are showing that Von Miller was a big part of their defense. The Rams defense as a whole looks incomplete, with the exception of Aaron Donald. They can't seem to shut down teams like they could in 2021, and as a whole, they're looking sloppy. Losing Von Miller hurt them more than people think. Number 6, Derrick Henry. When the Titans took Henry 45th overall in the 2016 draft, they were not expecting anything near what he is doing. He is arguably the best running back in football right now. While he might not have a 4.2 40-yard dash or insane agility, he is a freight train. Instead of dancing around with a linebacker, he plows through them like nothing and stiff arms cornerbacks left and right. Imagine the Titans without Derrick Henry. It's like imagining the Warriors without Stephen Curry. It's just not something you want to think about. The Titans utilize him in the pass and the run game more than anyone on the team, and overall, he carries the Titans. Coming in at number 5, Devonte Adams. Most of you know how much the Packers dominated the league the past few years, and it was obvious who called it. It's not Aaron Rodgers, but if it weren't for Devonte Adams, the Packers wouldn't have gone anywhere, and it is being proved this season with the Packers going as low as losing to the Jets, which are famous for being horrible. Adams was Rodgers' favorite target and arguably the only one, leading the team to a first-round bye in the 2021 playoffs. After his contract expiring in 2022, he asked for way too much money. The Packers deemed him not worth the money and let him go to the Raiders, where he is Derek Carr's favorite target. And not only that, Derek Carr and Devonte Adams played in college, so it's only a matter of time till they dominate the league themselves. Number 4, Joe Burrow. This one's pretty obvious. After 2 seasons with Burrow, he took the team from one of the worst teams in the NFL to a Super Bowl team. Even with a horrible offensive line taking 9 sacks in one of the playoff games, Burrow still finds a way to lead the team to many wins. Not only is Burrow skilled, he plays with great intelligence, very similar to Tom Brady. There are many Super Bowls to come for the Bengals. Number 3, Tom Brady. Once again, you should probably know why Brady is on this list. He led the Patriots to 6 Super Bowls after being drafted late in the 6th round. He was thought to be only the backup quarterback, but after the starting quarterback got injured, Tom took over for good after leading the team to a big old Super Bowl. Everyone knows the story of Tom Brady on the Patriots, but only a couple years ago he was traded to the Buccaneers. After going to the Buccaneers, he turned the worst franchise in NFL history to Super Bowl champs in the first year he was there. If that's not enough, I don't know what is. Coming in at number 2, Josh Allen. In the 2018 NFL draft, the Bills took a huge chance and drafted Allen 7th overall. But it's not because of scouting, it's because of an email. Josh emailed the Bills and told them how much he could do for them, and that if they took a chance on him, it would be worth it. And he was way more than right. After many years of quarterbacks being flops for the Bills, finally they found their savior. Josh Allen led the team to a 6-10 record his first year and slowly increased from there. finally resulting into many big playoff runs, which ended in many heartbreaking losses where it seemed like the Bills were dominating and should have won. Just like last year where Mahomes and Bills had a shootout at the end of the game. That game was a 50-50, and the Bills probably should have came out on top. It is only a matter of time before Josh and the Bills go to a Super Bowl and probably win. Number 1, DeAndre Hopkins. This one is a little harder to explain since many of you don't pay attention to the Cardinals. The Cardinals drafted Murray as the number 1 overall pick in the 2019 draft, but only went 5-11 that season, increasing the record by a very little 2 wins from the previous 3-13 season. The Cardinals had a lot of work to do, and they definitely made it happen. In the 2020 offseason, the Cardinals made a blockbuster trade for DeAndre Hopkins with the Texans, only giving up some picks and David Johnson. The first season, Hopkins was a little bit underwhelming, but let me explain. The 2020 offseason was in the brink of COVID, and that limited the quarterback and receiver duo to get very little reps. The Cardinals then went 8-8, missing the playoffs and the first winning record in years by only 1 game where Murray was sitting and the backup was in. After a sad end to the 2020 season, the Cardinals came back and went 7-0 to start the 2021 season, and ending that streak to the Packers when Hopkins got injured and only played about 30% of the offensive snaps that game. He was then out with a hamstring injury, and Murray was out with an ankle sprain. Without Hopkins, the team went 3-4, including the embarrassing playoff blowout to the Rams. Now starting the 2022 campaign, the Cardinals went 2-4 without Hopkins and with Marquise Brown filling in. Hollywood Brown is now injured and out for a month or more, but Hopkins came back. And guess what? The Cardinals are now 1-0 with Hopkins in the 2022 season. Murray and the Cardinals need Hopkins more than literally any other player in the NFL, and it's been proven from year to year. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe. We're going to be posting videos every single week, so stay tuned. I'll see you guys all in the next video.